Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I did a little bit of production methods management before we got started. And I discovered that, first of all, I need to remember I'm on frickin' high taxes. I suppose I could drop military spending back to Midland, but that doesn't seem productive. I discovered that I am having some taxation capacity shortages in these areas. So I'm going to cautiously increase taxation capacity by moderate amounts. Uh, in some of these areas. Ooh, Languedoc we're actually short by a little bit. Was it Auvergne-Limousin we were short? Yes. So again, it's 30 per level. So I shouldn't need more than like 3 to make this work. And then what was the other region? Yeah, it was Languedoc. Why are you... Oh, because I was looking at trade capacity. Ah, I'm so smart. Alright, we'll increase tax cap by 1. I guess we're increasing it by 2. Them's the breaks. After this, I'm going to go through a quick look through and see anywhere I've got a shortage of trade capacity as defined by using as much trade capacity as defined by state using as much trade capacity as it's got. And if it is, I'm going to increase its trade capacity. Wow, there are a lot of places that don't have any trade capacity. That's curious. I'm rather shocked by that, I suppose. Particularly a lot of these places where I'm really highly industrialized. I think those would be places that have a lot of trade happening. Anyway, hopefully this will be effective for the economy. Oh, we got a market access issue in Franche-Comté. Well, that's not ideal. Because we got an electricity shortage, it appears. Alright, I'm just going to increase some of this stuff. Let's see where we've got, let's take a quick look at our infrastructure situation. While the game is sorting itself out, I'm gonna stall for time. Alright. Alright, so it looks like it's only in Franche-Comté. How short are you, Franche-Comté? You are short quite a bit, actually. Let's throw 10 levels in here. And we'll do the same for power. Just to make sure power is good to go. We can always reduce power later. Alright, let's get started here. So, an agitator appears. Charles Marat, an historical character, a fascist, a reserved, reckless firebrand. French action. A new publication has come to light under Charles Marat. The publication, in its program for the Kingdom of France, endorses radical state anti-Semitism and reactionary absolutist nationalism. Among other things, the Action Française was united under a shared enmity for 4 sets of internal foreigners. Whether they were Jews, Freemasons, Huguenots, or foreign agents, it did not matter to them. Someone was culpable for tarnishing France's glorious imperium, and someone must be put to an end to bring rise to homogeny in a new nation. A positive investigation on monarchy is due. He becomes a reactionary icon, which increases his popularity. This trash is the only truth is Dreyfus's inherent guilt. Extra radicalism for... Okay, so we're about to get the Dreyfus affair, which we haven't had this run yet. I think this is pretty late for the Dreyfus affair. So this is extra radicalism for pops and open prejudice or below. Stronger fascist, reactionary, and cultural majority movements. And -2 standard of living for Jewish pops in the capital for 0 days. Or a nation under director and king is the only way forward. 5% of shopkeepers become more loyalist. Extra absolutist and royalist political support. That's interesting. I'm going to do the third one. Because I don't want stronger... I don't want a big fascist movement. And we're gonna see kind of how that goes. Revolution in Livonia? Where? Ah, it's the Baltics. The Baltics are going buck wild once again. Any place I could reduce autonomy? Radios are expensive. That's interesting. Ever-increasing influence. Members of the Anti-Russian League have discreetly dispatched one of their number to amplify their mission in the Kingdom of France's most widely read newspaper. The Anti-Russian League has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction, the lobbyist comments, there is no denying that the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. The approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers to favor our scheme. This sets a bad precedent. Industrialists salty, or this is ingenious. Industrialists, which are part of the Anti-Russian League, I think. Oh, entire Anti-Russian League, happier. That's industrialist intelligentsia and rural folk, but reduced legitimacy. I'm going to say this sets a bad precedent. My legitimacy is already a little bit low because I'm on high taxation. And the people over in the construction queue want more stuff. Oh my goodness. I need to get these railways towards the top of the queue. So I'm going to do that. Power plants too, I suppose. Oh, well. I guess we're using our entire queue now, so that's just fine. Building trade centers seems to go pretty fast. Railways not so much, but them's the bricks. Franche-Comté, how are you doing for market access? Yeah, still a little low. So I'm going to see if these increases in trade capacity lead to increases in trade in those states, and if they do, I wonder if... Okay, so some of them have gone up, and some of them have not, which is interesting. So this is useful information here. These build really fast. Actually, they're all complete right now. So I can go back through and do more increases if there are places that are still maxed out. Okay, okay. So there are locations that are continuing to use... Oh, they're not hiring. Interesting. Okay, so some of these places are not able to produce as much trade capacity, as much trade as they would like. Some of them, on the other hand, are way, way over. I suppose I haven't looked at Ile-de-France. Yeah, not shocking that there's a lot of trade capacity being used in Ile-de-France. And of course, our primary productive areas. And some of these others are below capacity, and that's okay. Huh. Interesting. I guess the private sector wasn't really managing this properly, because there was significant need for trade capacity in quite a few of these areas. Just build a couple in Wallonia just to make sure that there's sufficient capacity for any trade that the area should need to conduct. Yeah, some of my most industrial areas, it seems like, are still experiencing shortages of trade capacity, which is curious. I guess I guess I needed to focus more on this than I did. Dagnabbit. Stupid moving indicators. Alright, so actually, yeah, it seems like a lot of these places could be trading more. Okay, so this is good, because hopefully this is going to really buff up my standard of living. I'm hoping this really buffs up my standard of living. How's market access here in Franche-Comté? A few more weeks, and this will be good to go, hopefully. Alright, extra trade capacity is being used in a couple of these areas. Obviously, some of them are not running over, and that's okay. But a lot of these highly industrial areas are. Maranjou is continuing to hire. So let's build more capacity. That might have been a mistake. I guess we'll find out. Trade centers in Brittany are continuing to want expansion. What about Normandy? Same deal. Interesting. I completely neglected this. This is curious. These ones are going down in profitability, but they are still trading, are they not? They are, which is most curious. They seem profitable, though. Okay, yes, they're going up in profitability. Wonderful. Franche-Comté, how are you doing? Railways are fully employed. Market access is not completely sorted. Cripes. I beefed the math. That's okay, though. And they will need more trade capacity. Wait, how much trade capacity is infrastructure? No, none. It uses none. Alright. So we'll throw 10 levels in there. And hopefully that'll be good to go. I'm starting to build these up by 10. Blocks of 10. Particularly ones that have become fully employed. Is Guyenne having an infrastructure shortage? They are, but we are building them up. That's these ones? Yeah, and they're almost done. So let's go ahead and... Well, we're going way over on that, but they'll automatically downsize if it's not enough. Or if it's too much, rather. Maranjou is good. Normandy is asking for even more trade capacity. Bananas. Let's do it. Brittany. Still looking for more? Let's do it. Picardie. Still looking for more. Let's do it. French Low Countries. I haven't looked here that much. You're at maximum. Let's increase the amount. Oh boy, the Han National Movement is buck wild once again. And Honduras is improving relations. Alright, so... Was I not suppressing them? No, I am suppressing them. Alright, so this is going to lead to another revolution in China. So this is interesting. This is a massive trade expansion. Hopefully this will bring up standard of living, which has been a little bit below what I should like. But hopefully increased access to the world market will improve my overall position in such things. I am slowly bashing away at my my national debt. In fact, it won't be too many more weeks now. Let's take another... See, I'm thinking about increasing the size of my construction sector just on account of my investment pool is chock full? No, my investment pool... Yeah, my investment pool is chock full. Yeah, I could easily increase this up to like 1,000 without breaking the bank. So let's do at least a little bit of that. I've maxed out the metropole, right? Not Savoy. and not French Germany. So let's start with those areas. And then we'll throw some more in North Africa. And that'll be nice. That might be all I need to get the investment pool working properly once again. Let's take a quick pass back through here with these trade centers. Okay, so you're falling in profitability, but you're still fully employed. So let's do a really radical expansion in any of these areas where we're achieving full employment in trade. Oh, infrastructure shortage here in Mananjou. Throw that one in at the top. Normandy, how are you for infrastructure? Oh, actually very close to needing more. So we'll build out more. What about Brittany? Brittany is just fine for infrastructure. Trade centers, still profitable. Let's throw another 40 levels in there. Ile-de-France, absolutely absurd trade capacity. Let's keep that number going up. How's infrastructure? Infrastructure's just fine. I'm getting that permanent bonus from a while ago still. Picardie. Another 40 levels. French Low Countries. Let's do another 40 levels. We're going buck wild here, I tell you what, but it's important. Let's do another 20 levels in Franche-Comté. A strange superstition. Reports have come out of a strange illness harrying members of the same family in East Sahara. Locals have started exhuming the bodies of the dead in an effort to stop the so-called curse. Do you not think that there are things which you cannot understand, and yet which are, that some people see that others cannot? But there are things old and new which must not be contemplated by men's eyes, because they know or think they know some things which other men have told them. Ah, it is the fault of our science that it wants to explain all, and if it explains not, then it says there is nothing to explain. Okay, interesting. This is a new event. Just another case of rural superstition. 2% of pops in East Sahara become more radical, or a couple of professors have expressed interest in this matter. Bureaucracy penalty, I can definitely afford that. Extra progress on antibiotics. 25% of academics pops in East Sahara become more loyalist. I will definitely do the second one. This seems like all bonuses, frankly. And I know it costs administrative capacity, but I'm chock full of bureaucracy. It is not lost on me that increasing trade centers does appear to be increasing my GDP significantly. I'm hoping that this increases the profitability of many of these other businesses, particularly in the metropole, and that brings up standard of living. That's my hope. We're going to see if that hope is borne out, or if it's simply, or if I simply experience foolishness. Oh boy, the game does not want to show me these iron mines. Don't crash, Vicky 3. I believe in you. Oh boy. Interesting. I'm going to go to as automated methods as I can with these livestock ranches. Ooh, did that actually reduce their profitability? No, it didn't. Oh, something's going on in Java. Something's going on in China. Spain, you're going for South Jilin. You're going for all this area over here. Interesting. Southern Heilongjiang, South Jilin, and Xinjiang. Yeah, we're partitioning China. That's fun. You get him, Spain. Now, what's this business going on in Java? There's a radical revolt overtaking Java, and I just cannot be arsed. Our national movement has been increasing in size, but has not been generating events. So I think I'm good to ignore it. There's macroeconomics. That's wonderful. Can I start another company? Clearly I can. What can I produce? Ooh, I could do an oil company for extra migration attraction. That's pretty neat. Reduced military goods cost. I am actually paying a comical amount for military goods. This would save me about about 180,000 per week. Yeah, that seems right. Let's do it. If I can get that company prosperous, I can be very pleased. I can also produce high-grade explosives. What do we have shortages of in France? Okay, so now I've overbuilt trade centers. They're still using all their trade capacity, though. Like, these should always be profitable. How much am I spending on subventions? I am spending a significant amount on subventions. But subventions are good for my companies. Let's take a quick look at what I'm subvening and to what extent. Yeah, so as you can see, as I build up trade capacity, this number goes up. So it's mostly grain. But hopefully that leads to a corresponding rise in the profitability of my farms, which does not really seem to be the case, unfortunately. Them's the breaks, I guess. Can I get an overtime on this? Not really. Well, that's a shame. Let's take a quick look at these trade centers. Okay, so these trade centers are... the states are using more trade capacity, but the trade centers are less productive, which is interesting. So they will downsize over time. They're using more of the merchant marine that's available nearby. So it was successful of me to build that up. Secessionists protest. Proponents of the Han secession movement have gathered for a public protest. As the crowd begins to gather, attention seemed apparent among onlookers and passers-by, more than that which would usually be expected at the site of a political rally. Perhaps the agenda of national independence stirred up thoughts about civil war, or perhaps, more likely, it was simply the unfamiliar feeling of finding themselves outnumbered, even momentarily, by Han people. Break it up, reduce authority, change civil war progress down, or let them be heard, extra pop attraction. I don't want extra pop attraction, so I'm going to break it up. It's going to cost me some authority, but that's okay. I can live with that. I can for sure live with that. Let's take a quick look at infrastructure and see if there's anywhere else that needs to be built up. Okay, so we currently are building up Orléans Berry, are we? We're not. Okay. Oh, this is Ménager. Yes, we are building up infrastructure here. To a certain degree. And how much of it do we need? Yeah, we'll certainly be producing enough. A sufficiency. GDP continues to grow. I think the trade blitz was the right call. Can I produce... Can I max out ports in some of these areas? Do I not have maximum port capacity? I suppose I don't. Okay. Suppose I could build power block statues. That would be fun, but I don't really need them. Alright, so these trade centers... So this one's going to automatically downsize. Yeah, these ones say they're going down. And I think they are going to be. Alright, the cash flow is doing well. Investment pool is still increasing at a comical rate. But, I think they shelled out a bunch to buy those trade centers that I built. I think once the Han secession movement is finished, I may go aggressive against China once again. We'll see. They really failed to improve their overall situation. A liberal revolt in Sierra Leone is brewing. Let's grab the army of East Africa to deal with that, or the army of West Africa to deal with that. Don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, but it's the sort of thing that I should handle. Now, the one thing I could do is I could go after Great Britain one more time before the end of the run. And if I do that, I'll need to wait a little bit, because the goal would be to steal all of the League of the Faithful has been founded by the two Sicilies, trying their best to form in Italy. Failing, but trying their best. Gosh, I have so much influence. I'm chock full. Stuffed with influence. Just stuffed. Man. Not wanting to deal with those deaths in Kasai from the railway, a huge mistake. Maximum regret. I should have accepted the mortality. It was not smart of me to do it this way. Anyway, now you can see why we've chosen that. Anyway, the goal would be to eliminate the British presence in Africa. Now that means Zulu. Oh no, Zulu is a Japanese puppet. That would mean Gaza, British East Africa, and the Cape Colony would all need to be transferred to me. I think I've got enough infamy capacity to let that happen, to make that happen. We'll find out. Nanjing garrison refuses order. Ordered to violently suppress a popular riot in Nanjing, a battalion of the Nanjing garrison have refused their orders, claiming that the execution of such a command would run contrary to the laws of man and God alike. Patriotism, I would gladly raise my rifle against the enemies of the Kingdom of France. Should the Russian come calling, I will do my duty, as shall we all. But to raise arms against kin, against brothers in blood and faith, sir, this we cannot do. Insubordination, string up the ringleaders and jail the rest. More radical servicemen, less radical officers, devastation and reduced civil war progress. Or, hush this down, we shall rotate the garrison eventually. Reduce training rate, armed forces furious. Let's go with the first one. Sorry, armed forces. Or rather, I'm doing this for you, armed forces. So smart. How big is the USA's army at this stage? The USA's army is, might be said to be comically large. Did they go to, they went to mass conscription. Okay, that's interesting. Their capital's still DC, right? So what does their army look like? Oh my gosh, they're in trench infantry. Alright, so I don't think I need to be afraid of the USA. Oh, they got some squad infantry. Okay. Okay, so, but I don't think I need to be concerning myself over much about the USA's armed forces. Got another Devil's Railroad event. I have to say full steam ahead because the absolute time imbalance of this. What are we on now? Oh, we're still at 95%. That's brutal. I should do a decree, but I don't have a lot of authority to play with. I am going to drop taxes back to minimum. Developing a gold reserve is not that important to me right now. Well, I am actually about to go into a major war, so maybe I will. Maybe I will develop a gold reserve. Maybe I will reserve all of this gold. What's my gold reserve capacity? 373 million. Alright, that's pretty substantial. Stonks. I've been playing a little bit of Stonks 9800, and the spreadsheeter in me has become powerfully affected by the core gameplay loop. In many of the same ways that Victoria 3 makes and its tendency to make number get large is a huge part of the game. Can I reduce anyone's autonomy? Not really. They are going down now, finally. Well, there are a few. Ooh, I could turn the Netherlands into a puppet pretty soon. That's actually probably where I'm gonna go. And if Ashanti gets spicy, then so be it. Everyone else is pretty low on liberty desire here, right? Oh, not Liberia. That's interesting. Colony. I got one colony. Yeah, French Congo. English-French Congo, because of course that territory is still... They're doing poor laws. I might make them change up their laws to make French people more accepted. Nationalist opera. The performance of an opera with nationalist revolutionary themes at an upcoming festival is being openly associated with the Han secessionist movement by its proponents. Monday the 23rd, fireworks. Tuesday the 24th, illuminations. Wednesday the 25th, revolution. Cancel the fireworks. 2% of Han pops in the kingdom become more radical. Cancel the illuminations. 5% become more radical. Reduce bureaucracy. Reduce civil war by 10%. Or cancel the revolution. Reduce authority. But no extra radical Han pops. I'm just going to cancel the fireworks. I can live with... Well, I should have dropped authority, because I'm doing really fine for cash. But, you know, I've done what I've decided to do. I'm not spending any of these on... Oh, I am doing a suppression decree. That I don't need to be doing. Ottoman Empire is doing some stuff in the hedge. Suzhou was where we were. And I don't need to keep this decree. Any other decrees? Oh, I'm over on charters. I'm over on corporate charters. Gosh dang it. I don't need ways to get more companies. I need ways to get more corporate charters. That's what I really need. That's what would make this work. Han secession movement. They're trying to secede all the time. Ridiculous. Stop it. Spain is really pushing in on China super duper hard. I think China might lose this, same as they've been losing to me. Which is pretty rough, because I'm, of course, a modern power with a massive mechanized army, but Spain is you know, Spain's army is not that big. Well, Spain's army is pretty big. But their economy is not that big. Their economy is 1/10 the size of mine. Their population 1/8. Their literacy 15. Their literacy only 3/4 of mine. It is what it is. When you have a hammer, General Yves Ducot, noting severe unrest in Jiangsu, has proposed using the army to suppress agitation in the area. While his political allies support him, there's a heavy risk to following his plan. It's simple. We have an army, and there is the enemy. Let me deploy my men and do what is needed, and the enemy shall be vanquished. That is all there is to it. Reprimand the general and reject the plan. He's demoted to general. Armed forces unhappy. Or we must use the tools we have to solve the problems we have. Good chance of increasing the Civil War progress. Small chance of decreasing it. I'm going to do the second one. I don't want to piss off my armed forces. And sure enough, Civil War progress has gone ahead and increased. But them's the breaks, my nerds. It's gonna be a civil war at this point. I can't suppress my way out of this one. Couple events. I'm just gonna let us tick over into January, read these events, then we'll close out the episode. There's January, no events on oh, there is an event on January 1st. Fine. We got an end of spring somewhere. The world is changing. The soldier's disease. After his return from duty, General Yves Ducot has not been the same. He avoids the barracks like the plague, refuses to use a weapon, and has stated damn clearly that he doesn't want to hear a damned word about war. God, your man is old. He could retire. He wakes up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, screaming. He looks at me and doesn't recognize me. He just points and asks about his brother, his dear brother. Sometimes he even tries to get something to throw at me. Where am I? He yells, his eyes seeing past me. These memories would wreck any man. It needs to be treated. He removes shell shock, but loses some popularity. He would get the appropriate treatment in an asylum, far from the public eye. Armed forces unhappy, but he's removed from the game, basically. Or this is just another instance of cowardice. Send him back to service. Armed forces mildly unhappy, but 50% chance he becomes an alcoholic. I'm going to remove the shell shock. Shell shock is a really bad trait to have, and and our man's already an alcoholic. These memories should wreck any man. This needs to be treated. Shabamzo. Cause without a rebel. Although Charles Marat is still fighting for his cause, no one is following him anymore. Despondent Marat has started publicly remarking. I was trying to say stated publicly. Has started publicly remarking that he may give up on his activism altogether. What's the point, eh? Speakers when we have any speak to empty halls and in empty chairs. There's no crowds and no manners. If anyone pays attention at all, they never understand anything we're preaching. What reason is there to stay here? We're all stuck doing nothing. Perhaps he can find greener pastures elsewhere. He's exiled, or no time for timidity. The movement needs drastic change. 33% chance each of the fascist movement becoming stronger, weaker, or more active. Perhaps he can go. I don't need fascists right now. Let the game tick over to a new week just to save those changes. And that will be all there is, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.